Okay, Common Core Algebra 2. So today we're going to talk about writing equations of a line. This is now Chapter 2, Section 4. So we're following up the last section where we did a lot of graphing of lines. We're still going to be working with our 3 points, or our 3 forms that we've talked about. Today we're going to be doing point-slope form. Okay, so big thing what we're going to need to be able to do is find the slope. We've talked about slope formula when given 2 points, and then using that in a point, we're going to write the equation of a line. So to start off with, just as a quick reminder, we've got our point-slope form, y minus y sub 1 equals m, and then in parentheses x minus x sub 1, where m still represents the slope, and the x sub 1, y sub 1 is the given point of the line. Okay, so these are the 2 things that we have to find in order to write this equation. Okay, now sometimes it's fairly easy. For example, here you're given that your slope is -2, and you have a given point, -4, 8. If that's the case, remember every point, every ordered pair, has an x and a y. So x1, y1. We're going to have y, our variable. Remember, y and the x are always going to stay the same. Y minus, and then y sub 1, which is a positive 8. So y minus 8, remember this is always opposite, equals, we plug in our slope value that you're given, -2. Keep your variable x. And then because x sub 1 is a negative, we could write this as minus a -4, or the other option here, since it's minus a negative, we could write it as plus 4. Okay, so I'm just going to clean that up a little bit. We'd get x plus 4 in there, okay, opposite. So minus negative becomes plus 4. Now, what can make that a little bit different, sometimes we'll need to find our slope, which remember this is definition rise over run. We've got 2 given points here, x1, y1, x2, y2, and we have a formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we've seen this before. If you are not given the slope, such as here, you're given 2 points, which every time has an x1, y1, x2, y2, what you're going to need to start by doing is finding your slope using that y2 minus y1, so 6 minus a -3 over x2 minus x1, so -2 minus 4. And if we simplify that, we end up with 9 over -6. Okay, we can reduce that if we want. We'd get -3 over 2. I just moved the negative to the top. Really, it doesn't matter whether your negative is in the numerator or denominator. Standard form is going to have it written in the numerator like this. Now that we know our slope and a given point, it doesn't matter which point we use, it's the same equation, it would graph the same line either way. So I'm just going to take that first one. Y minus a -3 is going to tell us y plus 3 equals my slope of -3 over 2, which we just found, and then x minus my x1, which is 4. So this would be the solution to that one. Okay, and that is really, whoops, we already did that. That is really all that we need to do when we are trying to write an equation in point-slope form. If you're given the slope, then all you need to do is plug in the slope in the given point. If you're not, if you're given 2 points, the only extra thing then is to find the slope. So if you don't have the slope, you need to use your 2 points to find your slope. Okay, we'll see you next time.